more seriously as maybe he had that he did? Or I guess he's got the seriousness that you wanted.
Well, you know, he's always been very serious about football. Very intelligent, knows what to do, plays two positions, just figuring his body. You just can't compete at that level at the way he came in here. He's realized that and found that out. So sometimes they have to see it for themselves. That's the way it is sometimes. Yeah, we have to be under 340.
Coach Shea was telling us earlier this season he thought that Gage Cervenka might sort of fill that Christian Wilkins leadership role. Like, what's Gage like, and what do you guys like about him?
Gage is tremendous. He has a great sense of humor. Keeps everything light. Pretty good at mocking me. So, but he's a very serious football player. Obviously, strongest guy on the team. That's pretty much hands down. He can run. He can do all the things. You know, his only shortcomings is the lack of offensive opportunity. He's played defense all his life, but he's going to be. I look for him to be the main cog this year in the wheel. So.
How much of his wrestling background is that strength?
Well, I love wrestling. Good balance on the feet. That's just been my experience over all my years. That usually wrestlers are really good with their hands and feet, and so that's always great input. John Simpson is a really good wrestler. Will Putnam, really good wrestler. So all those things we look to see.
How many offensive linemen, percentage-wise, do you think that come through their wrestling?
Lord, I wouldn't know how to begin to answer that. I'm sure I'd miss one, but the ones I just mentioned wrestled. I'm sure we got some others, but all those won state championships.
Any surprises in the incoming class, or who you're most shocked with improvement-wise?
Surprises? No. Obviously, I expect a lot of them when they come. Unlike most people, I don't go by the stars they put by their name. That doesn't concern me. One of the guys that has progressed as much as any of them is Jordan McFadden. He's really coming on. He's going to be something very special. So.
Great, thanks, Coach.
Kind of refresh my memory. He was right.
Yeah, he redshirted, so he's a little bit. He's talking about Jordan McFadden. He's a little bit behind mentally, just because of the lack of reps, because he was on the scout team. But he really had a great spring, and he'll compete for one of the starting spots at tackle.
Starting spots.
Okay. Ain't nothing set in stone now. So, listen, he's very capable. He can step in and play either side right now. So, but.
Sorry if you already answered this, but sorry if you already answered this or asked this. You already asked this question. Is Blake going to be able to push Jackson for that time?
Blake certainly is. He's up to 315 pounds now, so he's been able to maintain the weight. He's holding it. Obviously, you all know by now, all mine play two positions. It just helps them learn faster. Gives them more opportunities as well, but Blake can play guard and tackle and either side. So very smart. He's learned the system pretty good. Still a lot to learn for every one of them because everything's changing daily, but it's pretty good to see what he's done. I think he actually weighed in at 316. Now, that's not official weight yet because we don't have official weigh in. I was glad to see he was holding it pretty good.
What were some of the factors you saw out of Pollard in the spring that maybe edged him ahead of Cervenka at that center position?
Well, now, nobody said he edged ahead of Cervenka at the center position. Okay. Cervenka can't play both spots at the same time, guard and center. So, but Sean has played all 3 spots, and he's just so smart. He knows what to do, probably as well as anybody out there, if not better. And he wanted that challenge, playing center. So, and that helped us give a little more stability there, a little more bulk at guard, because Gage is 325 pounds. So that's the thing. So we're versatile there. Gage can move over center, Sean can move at guard, and then we also have Cage Stewart can play both positions. So he's really having a great summer. He's maintained his weight and gone up. He's over 300 pounds and pretty consistent.
Is this line one of the more flexible you've had with what you're talking about being able to?
Probably so. That's a good question. You know, if you sit down and look at each individual one, some of them I've never asked to play 2 positions, even though they could. All these have done it in practice or in a game. You go right down the line. Tremaine's played both sides in a game. Gage played center and guard. Sean's played all 3. John Simpson played tackle and guard. Jackson's played tackle and guard, all in the process. I haven't moved Jordan around too much, just to let him get his feet on the ground mentally. And Blake's played both positions in a game. So, we're a little more diverse there, I guess you'd say.
Do you move these guys around because they have the abilities to do so, or do you do that with an eye on injuries are going to happen? Obviously, you're going to need to replace guys here and there in the future, and that obviously gives you some more options if you do that.
It's a combination of both. We like athletic guys that have that capability, but injuries always occur. Like I explained to them in the recruit process a lot of times, as you'd rather be second team tackle or starting guard. It's just some guys are adamant when they come in, I want to play this position. Well, okay, you could get pigeonholed there too if you're not careful. What are you going to do if you want to go on to the next level one day? They don't ride along with about 7 of them. Everybody's got to play a couple of positions. So, but I think it also helps them learn the responsibilities of everybody and gel together a little bit. Knock on wood, that was one thing last year, we didn't turn many people loose. And if we might get beat, but if you account for them, you don't have many tackles for a loss. That's why we're in the top 5 in the country, I think. I'm not a statistic man. I'm a W&L man.
Where does Chandler Reeves fit in this offensive line?
Chandler Reeves, we moved him into guard. He does a little better with his hand on the ground, but he's going to continue to do both. Standing up has been a little bit of a change for him. He played a lot out of 4-point stance in high school. So that's been it's like you trying to learn a new language, a bit different. So I think that's been fun for him. I see a smile on his face and a little more fun at practice. And, I think he's enjoying it, so he tells me. And I'm enjoying what I see, the progress he's making.
What's the next step for Will Putnam?
Will Putnam? Yeah, the verdict's still out. Hasn't been here really long enough. He's played guard while he was here. I don't doubt that he could probably play a little bit of tackle. It's just it's such a learning curve. They don't realize how much they have to know. It's not about you just lock in. There's so many things that enter into it. Next to the quarterback, they probably have to learn more than anybody, or maybe more than him. I don't know. But every time a man moves 6 inches, that changes our footwork. Whether you can handle that or not. And then some people, in the crowd, a little different. Our spring game, biggest crowd some of them ever been in front of. So those are the thought process. It's kind of hilarious sometimes as you watch people, what they think and say just because this one said that or that one said this. And it all starts over.
philosophy-wise. You know, old Georgia Tech used to have the line splits like this. You know, Mike Leach has line splits like that. Where do you stand on like how big your line splits are? Are you kind of in the middle, tight?
Well, yeah, kind of in the middle. You know, the hard part is when you adjust on every play. Well, people recognize what you're doing, what's going on. So there's a lot of factors that enter into it. Ours is based on how quick we are. You know, if we're faster at this position, I always tell them, hey, you better know what your partner's capable of. If he can't cover that gap, you better tighten down. But we're all in it together. But we have pretty standard. We usually go about 2 foot across the board.
Who do you think some of your fastest offensive linemen are?
Oh, that's a great question. I think maybe Gage might have ran the fastest. Then I think it's Tremaine. I'm not really certain, but they, you know, Coach Batson times them, and for me, it's more about what can he do in this confined area. You know, if we're going to get in a foot race to win the game, we'll recruit different type people. But we're in more in a bullet match. We got to have quickness. So that's a good question. I think Gage is probably. Well, I don't know. See, we haven't timed Mason, and Mason Trotter can really run. We got several. They're all pretty fast for offensive line. Put it that way.
Aside from the obvious experience, what's some of the intangibles, the biggest things you're going to miss about the first year and 4 years without having Mitch Hyatt anchoring that left side?
I'm going to tell you, you get awful spoiled. Mitch Hyatt, I didn't have to worry. You know, he was on the best player most of the time. It never was a concern. But I knew what you were going to get from him every play. And, you know, it's just, it was such a joy. He never said a word. If he asked a question, you knew that he had something that he wanted to get answered because, you know, he was very attentive, knew what was going on, learned, very competitive, loved to compete. So that's a great question. It's going to be different. And then, you know, we've been spoiled with just like we had Jay Guillermo, now Justin Casanelli. Missing him, he got pretty consistent. Nobody even knew of him. And but the reason they didn't, you know, we asked him to move to a position he'd never done, and he took to it and was really good at it. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun trying to place that continuity, replace it. So, hope we can.
When you have that conversation with Jackson, talking about his position and replacing Mitch, what do you tell Jackson? What do you need out of him this year?
Well, I think you got it a little bit wrong. You're saying his position. No, it ain't his position. It's up for competition. You know, right now he's the lead dog at it, but we got another young man named Jordan McFadden, and we got a young man named Tremaine Ankrum that could easily flip over there. We got a lot of versatility. So. But, yes, we don't talk about what others have done, talk about what you can do. That's what I've been talking to Jackson and Jordan and Tremaine, all those guys. John Simpson's also played some left tackle and did it pretty well. So, it's going to be an interesting competition. That's one thing I like about Coach Sweeney. Ain't nothing set in stone. You start all over. You got to earn your keep.
From a big picture standpoint, obviously Cade's a local boy. How do you see him fitting into the offense this year?
I think he's going to have a major role. Cade can play all three positions as well. He's played tackle in the spring, right or left, guard, right or left, center. He's one of those Reed Webster types, if y'all remember. Reed was one of the few in college football, maybe the only one. Played all 5 positions in the game, and pretty good at it. Cade really come on. He's gotten bigger, stronger. You know, he can run. I look for him to be a vital role. the problem with a lot of these young people here is, you know, with some injuries we've had over the years, people have gotten to play early. Such as Mitch Hyde. You know, most guys don't get to really jump in the starting role that soon in their career at this position. And we've had some be able to do that. Sean Pollard started half a season, tackle, as a freshman, won the national championship. And the next year he started at guard. So, but you have to expect the unexpected, and so that's why, as you asked earlier about why do we do that, preparing down the road. We play a lot of people in the offensive line, more so probably than anybody in the country. I don't know that for a fact, but I know all the years I've done it, they ain't seen a lot of them do that. And, get some snaps. And I'm not talking about just mop up. I'm talking about quality snaps. And the game's on the line.
Well, it's working.
Well, I tell you, injuries are going to occur. And, you just hope they're not very serious, and maybe only miss a week or two or whatever. You hope no one gets hurt, but that's the inevitable. Something's going to happen. I mean, we've had people hurt on the moped or bicycle or whatever.
Train so many people at different positions. Is that making it less of an adjustment not to have Mitch out there after so many years because you guys have done so much in getting everybody ready?
Help me with the question again.
I said, is it hard? Is it less of an adjustment not having Mitch in the lineup because you've played so many people and gotten them?
Well, yes and no. Like I said, I was spoiled. Mitch Hyde. You don't find many like that just come in and he was kind of forced into the role and just took to it. The pressure didn't bother him. The crowd didn't bother him. And not many people adjust that quickly. And there's so much knowledge he has to have. He has to make calls and do things. And but that's part of the reason I do train so many guys. I mean, one thing I love about Jackson, he is very, very smart. He loves football as far as little hidden secrets of it. He's pretty good in that regard. Now we can do some things that maybe we couldn't have the first year.
Jackson's obviously a bigger guy than Mitch. At least with us, he was a little bit more bubbly and outgoing. Is he kind of a completely different guy, both on and off the field, than Mitch was, or are there some similarities between the two?
Completely different in the fact that Jackson's very outgoing, fun-loving. He talks. He's very philosophical. He's got an opinion on everything. And Mitch just never said a word. He just let him talk. And he backed his up. So I'm hoping great things, for all of them. But you got to understand, I love them all the same. They all a little different, but they all pretty special in my eyes. My first concern is them being a great young man. Getting their college degree, all the principles that Coach Sweeney has. And then football, you hope you can add that to it, and they're good at that as well. Most of them